Hello, welcome back to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your host. I am Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin Trejo.
And Happy New Year, Erwin.
Shoot, yeah, Happy New Year.
I know. So, we did not mean to take a hiatus for a month, so sorry about that, but, life.
Yes, life. We are life.
Yeah. How's it going?
I'm not too bad. I mean, not good.
Well.
Everything's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, every time the New Year happens, though, it doesn't feel any different. It's weird.
Yeah.
At least for me. At least it never feels different because every time people set up new goals and everything.
Yeah.
It's always something where I just do it right away instead of just waiting to put it off, kind of thing. Until I'll wait till this day to do it, kind of thing.
Yeah, because there's no reason to wait. I mean, it's the same thing as when people are like, oh, yeah, I'll start, a diet on Monday. But you're like, today's Tuesday. You're like, why are you not starting? They're like, oh, because today's Tuesday. That would be weird.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you could be 6 days ahead by then. So everything we're talking about right now is very late. It's been a while, but we did say that we'd cover this stuff. So still going to. At the end of January, we'll do the best of the, what is 2021?
Yes.
The best movies of that year. But the thing is, January we typically use for the month of catching up because the way they release independent movies or Oscar qualifying movies is they always come out in January. At the time we're recording this, The Tragedy of Macbeth is still not out where we live, and it's been out everywhere else for a while, so that's cool. But we'll be talking about Don't Look Up, then Hawkeye, and then we're going to do it's been out for a month already, a full spoiler section on The Matrix Resurrections, which is, I'm excited to talk about personally just because, we'll get there when we get there. But...
Alright, Ice Cube. Right? What's that movie?
Are we there yet?
Oh, yes.
That's what the third one will be called. We'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there.
Isn't that Shrek 2?
No, it's The Incredibles. Shrek 2.
Yeah.
Then
he's in the Vidalia onion carriage.
Oh, I thought it was a pumpkin. I think it was Cinderella.
No, they're making fun of the Cinderella, yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny, okay, so I want to bring up
Shrek 2.
I guess. By the way, the better of the two. Whenever people say that Shrek is it drives me crazy. Shrek 2 is incredible. Still one of the best animated movies ever. 3 and 4 are not good. But we're doing Don't Look Up, which is kind of funny. I guess controversy surrounding it. I don't know. It just has incredibly divisive reactions towards it. I know some people that hated it. Some people loved it.
Just in the movie itself.
No, it's just funny because I was explaining to Dakota. I was like, it makes this point of trying not to take any kind of side, and I think that might be part of the problem, in terms of some people having with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I'll ask you, what are your previous thoughts on Adam McKay's work? Honestly, all of it. But
I mean, before he started directing movies Don't Look Up, he also directed Vice, and what was the other one?
The Big Short. And Step Brothers.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, those are the movies I remember him from more for just the comedy movies, just straight comedy movies. I love Step Brothers. It's definitely one of my favorite comedy movies.
No, absolutely.
For sure. And and Anchorman, right? He also directed Anchorman.
Yeah.
And wrote it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did The Big Short. Because he wanted to do The Big Short, so he had to do Anchorman 2.
That's right, and he also did The Other Guys.
He did The Other Guys?
Yeah, basically all of Will Ferrell's best movies outside of Elf, he did.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I always thought he was just, pretty good director and writer, if anything. I never really thought of him just in a drama type of setting.
Yeah.
That he could just handle it. And so... when I saw The Big Short, I remember thinking this movie was kind of, it had a weird approach because it's something I'd never seen before. Because it broke the wall a lot, right? It was
the fourth wall.
Fourth wall. Yeah. And it did that a lot, but in terms of just moving the story along instead of just using it as a comedic trope, which a lot of I guess that's what it's used for.
Yeah,
and I guess in a lot of aspects.
My issue with certain things now, like I hated whenever they did it in Red Notice, for example,
or Deadpool.
I like
Daniel, what's your opinion on Deadpool?
I like those movies.
Guys, I don't hate.
I don't hate.
Guys, I also like Keanu. Just letting you guys know.
Well, we're gonna get into that later. I wanted to bring that up. I was like, because it's an occurring bit that I keep doing, and Erwin can't stand it. So my personal reaction is, you didn't see Vice, right?
I did not see Vice.
So I loved The Big Short. I was surprised that. Actually, no, I can't say I was surprised that Adam McKay did that movie, because I think that there's an inherent issue that people have with comedies where they think they're dumb because they're funny. If I were to call Step Brothers smart, some people would get mad at me for it. And yeah, because they'd be like, no, it's just a stupid comedy. I'm like, no, but the movie, movies need to be smart to make you laugh.
No, yeah. It's on a consistent basis, though, too.
Yeah. So, whenever he did his transition into... These movies are all still funny. They are, but they are far more dramatic than his previous ones. I loved The Big Short. Vice, I had a reaction to it where some people actually have a reaction with this, where they're like, yes, I get it. I agree with you. But, it felt to me like somebody took 2 intro to college government classes and they were like, I should write about this. People need to know. And then you watch it and you're like, this is the most basic criticism of the government you could think of. It's like, I'm aware of all of this. What are you doing exactly? And I ended up enjoying it overall, but it felt weird where The Big Short, you don't know what they're talking about. I can't say I know anything about the stock market at all, or the recession or anything. But I am far more familiar with what they're talking about in Vice, so it kind of just feels like they're talking down to you. And while I liked Don't Look Up quite a bit, I do understand where the criticism comes from. Of I get it, I agree with you. This is so on the nose though, and I mean, I didn't mind that aspect of it. It was weird because I felt like it was trying to make a commentary on the state of the pandemic and everything right now. But the weird thing is that it was made or it was written before all of this. It was written back in 2019, so it was probably just a commentary on, at the time, on climate change, and it's still relevant now, obviously, but I guess this is one of the movies that tackles heavier topics than I guess we'd usually.
But I feel like it tackles not. I mean, I guess just multiple topics at once.
Yeah.
Because it talks about the social media aspect, and it talks about I guess political views and opinions, and then how basically everyone's kind of selfish.
Yeah, it's going for everything.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was interesting. Even the main characters, who I like, still get lost in their own what they're trying to do.
No, yeah.
And it's funny because but in terms of actual filmmaking, I didn't think that it. I felt like it was so close to being the next big thing in terms of satire that people would be talking about forever. It just, something is missing for me personally with it. But I did enjoy it quite a bit.
I didn't like Mark Rylance.
You and I both, I think. It's not like we have a beef with Mark Rylance.
I will never have Mark Rylance on this podcast.
I just stare at him and be like, you stole that Oscar from Sylvester Stallone.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the issue. His whole thing, a lot happens. There are a lot of different subplots. My least favorite one is probably, I guess, probably his.
No, yeah.
I didn't hate anything that happened in this, but
he was just a basic. I guess I'm a guy who has a ton of money and wants still control over everything. You know.
I thought it was weird that they were criticizing Steve Jobs when he's been gone for years, but I guess they're also referencing Elon Musk.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's just anybody who has a ton of money and clearly plays a role in our system, in our system, politically and everything. So, just I don't know.
It's funny because the movie itself works. It's doing exactly what it's trying to do, which is make you angry about what you're watching. And prefacing, Leonardo DiCaprio actually is my favorite actor, like ever. I was waiting for like every actor has a staple of like a thing they do. His is having like these long bursts of yelling for a long time, and he's so good at it. I was waiting.
And he's hairy.
I don't know if that's one of his like.
I mean, in The Revenant, he was hairy.
You know you're watching a Leonardo DiCaprio movie if he has hair.
Facial hair.
Oh yeah. I was telling you this, but because we weren't able to record, but we were talking about this movie briefly. What are your thoughts on Ariana Grande? Like as a
person,
as an artist, I guess.
Oh,
and
I mean, I like her
person.
music.
Yeah,
I do. Anything else? I don't know. Like, she seems pretty small.
I heard that she gets annoyed in that, and then they mention it in the movie. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's like a in joke or something. It's just I'm not gonna agree with something like, what would you do?
What would you do if Ariana Grande came to your door right now?
Boo. Get out.
This is audience boo. It's like those like laugh tracks in sitcoms, but like it's an audience going, oh.
That's like I hate, I don't know, the Disney Channel always like, cause then you're like, that's not real. I heard that
Oh yeah.
that one, and you're like, who invited that guy? Yeah. Or whenever they clap and then they go woo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Those are funny.
It makes me uncomfortable. I don't really. I mean, she's musically talented, but I don't really enjoy her or her media presence like at all. I do love Kid Cudi though. It's one of my favorite artists ever, and like she's musically talented.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really love Mac Miller. I'm just bringing that up. It's funny because this movie, I didn't think it'd be as subject to, I guess, controversy as like they even intended, because the reviews are all over the place. Like, so I've seen plenty of people that I follow that have it in their best of, and then like the other half they have it in their worst of, and their explanations for both are like, oh, it was just not funny, which I don't really agree with. I laughed. I didn't think it was like.
Every time I watch those movies though with Adam like McKay like directing these past few movies,
Yeah.
I never think of those movies as comedies. You know, I just like, oh, I laughed. You know, like certain scenes like made me laugh, but
Yeah.
at the end I didn't think it was a comedy. You know, like I expected to laugh every single time.
Yeah, like I mean, going into this, I wasn't like ready to laugh a ton or anything.
Yeah.
And it does navigate that fine line of being dramatic and like, but I wouldn't call it a full on drama. It's not that to me. But the person who I thought was great in this, and he doesn't even show up until like more than halfway through, and it makes me wish, like, I really hope he starts to do funnier things, is Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Chris Evans.
Oh, wait, are we spoiling it? I mean, whatever.
Oh.
I'll add that. We'll just fully. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's been out for a while. This being on
It's
Netflix.
on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, this being on Netflix, though, like I wanted to ask you. Like I was just thinking about this. Like, do you have any? I guess not like weird viewing habits, but just like, I don't know. Do you need to do something while you're watching, or like, do you need to be?
No, while I'm watching a movie.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, like for example, I cannot. I if I pause a movie, I feel bad.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Another one for me is I can't watch anything on my laptop or on my phone. I also need to see things opening weekend, or else it'll drive me crazy.
Well, that depends on the movies for me, depending on how big the movie is and how much we're going to talk about it.
Like, for example, if the people who waited are still barely seeing Spider-Man right now, like it blows my mind.
Oh yes.
Like, I could never. Or like if they're like, oh, I'll wait until a week from now. I'm like, oh. So, I was talking to you about this. We were debating whether or not to change our rating system. I don't know. I mean, for now it's fine, I guess.
Yeah. I'd say 3.5. out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least.
And I mean, I think you're gonna get so mad at me. I was like 3.75.
What the heck?
But I'd originally given it. Yeah, I'll stick with my 4. Yeah. I mean, we have like the same thoughts on it. I just didn't. Score is just a little different. Speaking of, I guess we need to explain this. I need to explain the rating system to people. So, 3 stars is passing. Yeah.
No, I say 5 stars is
No,
passing.
what? We don't like anything we've ever talked about. So half a star is, I don't know, like the worst thing in the world. I guess we
No
could
stars.
Yeah, I guess we could give things a 0, but half
Yeah,
a
that's
star
true.
is. Whenever I have to log it, I'd have to give it half a star. So,
Oh, yeah.
1 star is, I don't know, still terrible. 1.5 is just like also bad.
Yeah.
All that is just kind of like in the mood for whatever I'd give it, I guess. 2 stars is where you're like, this is bad. You can't like be so angry at it. You're just like, this is bad.
No, yeah.
2.5 for me is where I'm like, it's bad, but it has good things in it though. 3 stars is passable. 3.5 is good. 4 stars to me is great. 4.5 is amazing. And then 5 stars is like incredible, or it doesn't need to be perfect necessarily, but it also you could have found it perfect, I guess.
Yeah.
And then that's all of them.
3.5 stars for Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
I definitely also seeing Jennifer Lawrence again.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice because beforehand remember we got like a bunch of movies just with her.
Yeah, and then
She
she
was
took
like
a long
in
break.
everything. Oh my gosh.
She was in like anything David O. Russell made at all.
Yes.
Which sucks. She's like, I know a lot of people got tired of her. I think she's a great actress. So
Yeah.
it was, and when she came back, I was like, she's still a great actress. I was like, it's a good thing she took a break because I was thinking about it, I was like, when's the last movie she was even in? Joy, the David O. Russell movie about mops.
He's just a wannabe Martin.
Yeah. American Hustle's fine. I don't remember anything about it.
You remember the cast more than the movie?
Yeah, no, I remember Christian Bale being big and Amy Adams being there. Jeremy Renner's there too.
And Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence were like in a bunch of things.
He has like a perm in that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So moving on to, it's funny. I feel like I loved Hawkeye, but I'm trying to think about it right now.
I also loved Hawkeye. I think from like the moment it started to the way it ended, it was perfect.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because it was very consistent, and it never felt like a scene was dragging for me. Because a lot of it, when it came to like the other MCU shows, there were certain scenes where I was like, it's kind of dragging, right? But at the end, like, I still love the other shows and all. But for this one, the fact that it was only like 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, they're all 6 though, I think. Yeah, except for WandaVision. But...
Okay. It felt like every single episode was needed to like tell its like part.
No, I thought it was just long enough. We can talk about spoilers on this too. Love Kingpin. Very happy about that.
Yes, it's still the same Kingpin. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, some people the whole like, oh, they shot him. I was like, you really think that they brought him back
like, just to shoot him? Yeah, like, bam, dead.
The whole action scene with him, like I felt like they specifically like hit him over and over to emphasize that would not kill him.
Yeah, no, and then people were saying like, wow, Daredevil could barely take him on. Wow, Kate Bishop was like defeating Kingpin. Like Kate Bishop didn't even defeat Kingpin like on 1-on-1. Like you clearly saw it over and over again.
She didn't do anything.
No,
to him.
Nothing.
Yeah, he just kept like.
Yeah, she literally used her wits to beat him, and like use a bomb to hurt him.
Speaking of, you remind me that action scene in Rockefeller was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved that. That was incredibly
creative.
Seeing
a bunch of those trick arrows going everywhere, that was so much fun.
I thought it was funny that somebody was like did a video that they were like, did you know that this is the most amount of people that have ever been murdered by superheroes in a show? It is specifically Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, and I was like, that's funny.
Wait, murdered? They were murdered?
I guess they killed people.
Yeah. I guess he just killed people.
I mean, they implied
Why superheroes just kill people?
They implied that they murdered people. Like they consistently blew up vans with people in them.
Yeah, that's true.
No issue there though. I mean, not many of the Marvel superheroes even have a no kill rule. It's not like only Spider-Man and
Spider-Man,
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Punisher.
I'm
just kidding, guys.
Somebody's like, ugh, you're wrong.
These nerds don't understand.
Yeah, this is my favorite Marvel show for sure because you're right. It's the most consistent out of all of them. I don't know if I really have Florence Pugh being like in these movies now makes me happy. She does sound like Gru.
Yeah, when you said, I don't know who told you that, but like I was just like, what? Now I can't unhear that.
You told me that.
I did?
Yeah, you were like, you said that somebody told you that she sounds like Gru.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah.
Oh, dang.
But she's awesome. Funny. I love that the explanation with her, like where they do the blip thing.
Oh, yes, that was my favorite too.
Yeah.
Whenever, honestly, I liked whenever Hawkeye was Ronin again. Ronin again. But, I don't know, I wish we got to see more of him as Ronin.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I just want to, that's the one thing I realized. Because, of course, they mentioned it in Endgame, and you saw a little bit of it. And then they did one flashback in the show.
And it was a cool scene, yeah.
And it was just like a one long take. But I guess like to understand more on why Hawkeye, I mean, of course, like he went down that road because of his family being gone and all.
Right. Yeah.
But like just to see it, I said because I understand, but I guess just to showcase it more, so that way it has more of an impact whenever he, like, throws away that Ronin suit, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's one thing where. I guess that is needed. I mean, it would be nice. I guess just like to go more into that. That's why I do like that the shows exist now to give you just more like, oh, I care about this character for sure now. Like I could definitely say that. I remember when we watched Age of Ultron, you're like, I liked Hawkeye in this one.
I did, yeah.
It's weird the thing to think about whenever like the Avengers first came out. The people that you did not care about were Captain America and Hawkeye. Yeah, and now you're like, no, that's changed.
I just love the fact that they give characters like a chance to shine, basically.
Yeah. So now that, for example, the trailer for Doctor Strange, you see Scarlet Witch, you're like, yes.
Yes.
And you might not have before. Because, I mean, I liked her in Civil War and
I definitely loved her in Civil War.
Yeah.
For sure. Comparable to everything else, but...
No, I mean...
Oh, and Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop was well developed from as a character who started from nothing to now.
One of my favorite scenes in Marvel now is the conversation she has with what's her name? Yelena. And the funny kind of elevator thing that they do. Yeah. It just goes to show that I mean, you can go. I don't know what she'll be in. I'm assuming. I was thinking about it. I was like, so they're obviously gonna do the Young Avengers or whatever it's called.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We have to wait. Or we kidnap Kevin Feige. Ask him. We kidnap Kevin Feige and ask him. All right, what happens in Endgame?
We need to know everything. Always have a joke.
You know what? I'll say I want to kidnap the Russo brothers, and it's like, why didn't you use this concept art? Right? Because whenever you look at the concept art for some of these things, you're like, holy crap! Like,
it's just concept art.
Yeah, but
they probably give them ideas. They're like, look at this. This would look like this.
Yeah. And it's like, what if Ant-Man
was big? Oh, what?
What if Ant-Man was not an ant? What if Ant-Man was G-Man? Jerry Seinfeld.
I would watch that.
Oh man.
I don't know if I would watch that. I don't want that. I do love Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes.
He's the comedian in the car getting the coffee.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh yeah, he did that.
Comedians in cars getting coffee.
That's all he did.
He drives his nice little car.
Wait, was it funny though?
The show?
Yeah.
I've seen 2 episodes. They just talk to each other.
I'll have to I guess it's
I
fine.
mean, they're like not. I'm assuming they're operating under the impression like not every comedian has to be funny all the time.
I guess like this, it's like me watching Hot Ones
Oh yeah,
on YouTube. It's like, all right, time to see them eat wings, but they're like mostly talking a lot comparable just to eating the actual wings.
and then, like we brought that show up before and we were talking about it, and every time I watch it, I'm like, why aren't they showing them eating the wings
Why aren't they eating the wings?
Like, but then I'm also like, don't talk with your mouth full.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, this is how funny how like you take like a piece of a bite.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna take the whole thing.
You all those pictures, like, you know, the picture that goes around, it's like, I devoured these wings, and then it's like barely touched, and it drives me crazy. Speaking of, Taco Bell has wings now.
That's weird.
And they're like a limited time thing, but I love the meme going on. It's like, guys, don't get the Taco Bell wings, and it's like people in the ER.
I'm a drumstick guy. I am, guys. I love drumstick.
Somebody told me that they listened to this and they agreed.
What?
That they were like, I'm on Erwin's side on the wing thing.
Yeah.
And
there's just more meat on the drumstick than there is.
I don't agree. I had wings last night.
Oh, which ones? From Taco Bell?
No, ew. They were good though. From my house.
No, that's okay.
It's dumb that I had wings from my house.
No, not that part. It's just, I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter because some wings are gonna have more meat.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this
depending on the
conversation is
brand,
pointless because like, you could have sometimes they'd have more meat, sometimes they wouldn't. Like, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
What do the Taco Bell ones taste like? I don't know.
Oh, what is it? I know. Zach.
Yeah.
He said he had those wings. He said it was fine. Like,
oh, they're fine.
You know, like they were like fine at best.
Is that why he's not here right now?
He's dying. He's dead.
I was on the Garfield Wikipedia last night.
Garfield? There's a Garfield Wikipedia?
Yes, there is. Then there's this guy named I don't know, John's brother. I think his name is Lyman.
Dude.
Something like that.
Please tell me you sent like that link to the writers for the new Garfield movies.
What link?
The Garfield Wikipedia. So in that way they can follow the...
If you're not already familiar with the Garfield lore, you shouldn't be making a Garfield movie.
Yes, I guess so. John has a brother?
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
That sounds like a sequel.
So originally it was John, his brother, and Garfield. Okay. And his brother moved in and he brought Odie. And so basically, the way the Wikipedia phrases this is, John's brother was there so he could have somebody to talk to, and he was like, this was gradually replaced by the character of Garfield. And I was like, you know the whole theory that John's just insane?
No.
Oh, you've never heard of that?
No.
There's this whole like, did you know, or like, what if
one of
things.
Those, okay.
Yeah, but there's this trend, I forget what it's called, like it's Garfield minus Garfield, I think is the name of it. And it's basically John saying stuff, because Garfield always is the punchline. Garfield has the punchline, and it's just John talking to nobody. Like, because technically it's true, because Garfield doesn't talk. He only thinks. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but like at the bottom of the Wikipedia, it was like, Lyman hasn't appeared in the comic strip since 1983.
Oh.
And there's a section on one of the Garfield mini games, or no, one of the Garfield like books.
Okay.
Where it says, "Don't check John's basement." And
don't check John's basement.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It like implies that he killed his brother, Lyman.
But why? Why is his name Lyman? Who names your kid Lyman?
I don't know.
I'm gonna name my kid Receiver.
Well, no, not lineman.
Oh.
Lyman, like Lyman, I think.
What? This
like
is
Doug Lyman.
Oh, okay. I like that director.
He made Chaos Walking. I didn't watch it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Chaos, no one's walking to the theater for that one.
Hey, did you know Peaky Blinders, the writer is Stephen Knight?
Yeah.
You know, he wrote that one movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, fucking Hathaway. Serenity.
Yes. Yeah. I was just like, what?
Movie is awesome. I don't. I'm starting to think that we don't need to rate TV shows, but because like
That's kind of
I don't see the need to.
yeah.
So
I definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah.
Just because it's short, and you honestly love the characters that they introduce in this.
Yeah,
as
loved
well.
it. Loved that it was set during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
They fully utilized that thing. Thankfully, I was
Yes.
like just worried that it would just be a Marvel show with no, like, it would just be set during Christmas and you'd see that.
I think my favorite though is definitely the car chase scene.
In episode 3,
Yeah.
that's when the show to me, I was like, okay, I do love this show. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is, all of those, the ones that team directed. I think like only 2 like sets of people directed these.
Yeah.
It was like the Bert and Birdie. They always do the, not the action heavy ones because every episode
Okay.
has one.
Yeah.
But they did that one. That action scene's incredible. Like, I was looking at where I had this in the, just in case anyone's wondering, where you're like, oh, you guys did the MCU rank thing. Where would this be? I think I had it at like number 7.
Shoot, I don't even know.
Because
I haven't put it on my list yet.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like jump to that immediately because
I really hope they don't kill off Hawkeye. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see another season of them two again.
Mm.
Just like, just working together.
You know, some people actually had an issue with the fact that it was not just Hawkeye, but I was like, but
No.
Kate Bishop's one of the best characters like
Yes.
in the MCU now. I have no issue with this.
Like, I want to see Kate Bishop now, like, in more things.
Sorry, it was number 8. One above WandaVision, one below Thor Ragnarok. So going into this one, next up, I guess before we fully preface, Erwin likes Keanu Reeves.
Yes, guys, I love Keanu Reeves. Okay, I do.
I do. I also love Keanu Reeves. Honestly, it's weird. You know, I was talking about.
But Daniel hates Deadpool.
That's not even true.
Okay.
I hate the people who like try and write or pretend to be Deadpool, or try and like, I don't know. So for example, the people at Comic Cons that cosplay
Okay.
Deadpool, they try and do the jokes that he makes.
Really?
But like they come up with them, yeah.
Oh.
And
I mean, it's not hard to...
it's not hard, but it
joke,
always feels like wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because it just comes off like that character's hard to nail,
Yeah.
even within the movies themselves. Like I like both of them, but sometimes the jokes just do not work.
No, yeah. I agree on that. But I guess, like... Sorry, just one last thing about Deadpool. I guess whenever they introduce him again in the MCU, I hope he's more of a side character than
I do
just his
too.
own solo thing.
Honestly, as much as I love all the fan service stuff they do right
Yeah.
now, I am so concerned about that character, because I feel like he's one of the ones where like he could just derail the whole thing.
No, yeah. Also, because it's like, there's a lot of like speculation now and rumors
Yeah.
with the multiverse of madness,
Mm.
and I'm just curious of what's true and what's not. And like them saying, it's like some people have said like, oh, X-Men might show up, Fantastic Four might show up.
I believe the X-Men thing
Yeah.
will happen, but the Chris Evans thing that we both saw was silly.
Which one?
Where it was
Hydra?
like where it was like Chris Evans is gonna be back as Johnny Torch.
I was like, why would they bring him back as Johnny Torch?
I was like, also that's not fan servicing anybody.
Yeah.
Like who likes those movies?
You mean, okay, you can go back and watch those because at the end
They're very goofy.
they're goofy.
Yeah.
They really are goofy. They're fun I guess they're fun to watch.
They're kind of
but,
funny.
Yeah.
Whether they mean to be or not,
Uh-huh.
they are
I really
funny.
like the Thing and the Human Torch, like their banter with one another.
I was not gonna joke. I was gonna be like, what thing?
No, the Thing.
What? The John Carpenter movie?
No, like the big orange guy, the rock guy, not Dwayne Johnson. the orange rock guy.
The Thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I like Keanu Reeves. Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's honestly like I was talking about this last night with somebody. It's weird to think that some actors in the early 2000s were like jokes. For example, Ben Affleck.
Okay.
He used to be like the punchline for certain things. Like
what?
Well, because he just had this string of bad movies. You know, the whole thing about him, like, he directed The Town because he felt like he wasn't getting...
He wrecked the town?
No, not wrecked. He directed the town.
I was like, he was in a lot of bad movies, so he went to a random ass town and just decided to destroy everything. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I feel like he would. He's been to rehab. I don't know how many times.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Every time he like dates somebody, he goes, "Oh, rehab." I mean, it's not a joke, guys. Take care of your mental health.
I don't know. I still remember the whole Ana de Armas thing. And,
Sad.
and
You couldn't hold
did
on.
Did you ever
man?
see the Casey Affleck, right? Where
Yeah.
did you see the thing the pictures where he was taking out the cardboard cutouts that Ben Affleck had of Ana de Armas and he was putting them in the trash?
What?
Yeah.
He had cutouts of Ana de Armas?
I don't blame him, but yeah.
That's weird. He's back with J-Lo. Right?
Yeah.
I like J-Lo.
That reminds me. Because I showed my dad Don't Look Up,
Uh-huh.
and he used to hate Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think he does anymore. He doesn't really mention anything about it. Is there any specific celebrity or actor that you cannot stand?
No, I mean, I guess we already talked about Mark Rylance, but I think someone else.
Can you actually not stand Mark Rylance?
I just can't look at him anymore. Every time I look at him, that's all I think about.
I agree.
It's just that Oscar snub. That's all.
I did watch Bridge of Spies and I did really like it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's also all I could think about.
Yeah.
And it's also all I can still think about when I see him. And he's not even a bad actor.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anyone right now.
Like some people hate Tom Cruise. They can't watch anything with Tom Cruise.
That's because they put
his
religion into that. I'm just like, bro, he's a spy. He's just a spy in Mission Impossible.
He's just doing spy things. Mine is...
That's like with Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that, but yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
James Corden is mine.
I mean, I think he's just in bad movies in general, so I'm like, ah.
Okay, but even when he shows up, he's also... In the bad movies, he's the worst part. He drives me crazy.
You've seen Cats?
Yeah, I have seen Cats.
I have not seen Cats.
Yeah, what was he in? And I got mad. I know some people. Still have not seen it, and I need to. West Side Story.
Oh yeah, I need to.
They were like, "This movie's incredible," and so Elgort's in it.
You know, I never thought he was a bad actor until like, I guess I've been hearing him more recently. How he's just basically a bad actor. But then again, it's like I never really seen him like act.
That's the thing. I was telling you. I was like, I've seen The Fault in Our Stars. I don't remember it.
I've seen it a couple of times, and I still remember it. I don't think he's a bad actor in that.
He gets away with it in Baby Driver because he doesn't speak.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So like,
then again, it's like he wasn't in a lot of things that are like big. I guess he was also in the Divergent series, but I didn't see any of those movies.
I saw one of them. I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me.
I read that.
My parents were. I walked into my parents' room, and I saw them. Like I went to my parents' house yesterday. That's why. And they were watching Breaking Dawn Part 2. I don't know. I walked in, and I saw the baby.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh,
grotesque baby.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what the heck? And then it was the part after Bella got her powers and everything, right? She's a vampire. And like they're testing out her abilities and everything.
Oh yeah.
And like she's like arm wrestling one of the strong guys in that group, and like she breaks the rock, and the rock looks so fake. I saw
that movie recently-ish. Like honestly, we've talked about it on here the last time, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, no.
I'm just like I forgot like how bad the CGI was in that. And just like how bland everybody's acting was.
But it's so weird since they made 4, 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The acting does stay consistent throughout to the point where you're like, well, they did this on purpose. It's like
true.
Whether they wanted, like whether that means anything or not. I don't know why they did that.
I wonder if it was the same director throughout.
No, because some people really like legitimately do like the first one just as a movie.
Oh, okay.
And I remember some people complaining about the fact that whoever directed that doesn't come back later.
Oh, okay.
They do have they know what they are.
Yeah.
Whatever they set out to do, which is interesting and like in its
own right. I wouldn't mind watching those again.
They're fun.
I just want to.
Yeah.
I would watch it again though, but like I have to be in the right mindset for it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be weird watching them with someone who legitimately liked them, like as movies. But you know how typically we'll do that thing where we sit down and watch a bunch of movies and be like, ha
Yeah.
ha ha, this silly thing is silly. That's
Oh,
like
this movie's bad. My life sucks.
I'm emotionally out of it.
Let me just watch all the Twilight movies right now. It's like, oh crap, my entire family just died in a car wreck. Let's watch the Twilight movies.
I've got nothing else to do. They're not going anywhere.
Okay, Daniel, I think you're. Let's talk about the Matrix. We still haven't.
Yes, yeah.
Dang.
So it was funny going into this. You were not excited.
I
right?
was not excited.
I was excited in that I was like, I kept hearing briefly sort of what it was, and I was like, that sounds interesting. My previous experience, I'll ask you in a second, with The Matrix is we were gonna review the first three, but we just didn't have the time for it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, of course, one of the greatest movies of all time. Like, acknowledging that, putting that out there. 2, I remember, I've always said I don't mind. It still has, some of the action in that is so phenomenal that, like,
Yeah.
And 3, I thought got so complicated to the point where I was like, I know it's getting complicated for the sake of it because this is this franchise and that's always how they've done this. But like the thing is, I don't want to give a firm opinion on 2 and 3 again until I see them again. But for now, I'll say my original thoughts on them were 2 I enjoy and 3 I enjoy to a point.
I love the first one. The second one I remember liking a lot. I do remember more of the action scenes and especially the highway scene.
One of the best.
Yeah. So like, of course, like just from that alone, I'd still enjoy that movie. But the third one, I honestly don't remember. I really don't remember. I remember this one scene though, where Keanu like stops one of the I was gonna say droids.
Wrong franchise.
Yes, one of the robot things. I don't know what they're called.
They said yeah.
They said it
yeah.
like I'm gonna say sentient. Yeah,
They might be.
maybe. Like stops like just like but like in the reality, you know, not in the Matrix.
Oh.
Remember he
yeah.
was like in. Yeah, whenever he wasn't in the Matrix, he like stopped them. I remember that was one like, whoa, it's crazy. I do remember that part. Was that the second or third one? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that they hadn't seen them and they were gonna
Mm-hmm.
marathon all of them, and I was like, as fun as that sounds, I was like, I feel like in order to marathon them, you need to be very prepared to know what you're getting into if you haven't seen them before.
But honestly, after watching the fourth one, you didn't really need to see the other three because it didn't really. They reference it, yes.
Yeah.
But it's not something where it's like it was like needed information, that you should have known from watching the other three for the fourth one. And they do reference it and they showcase it too. Yeah. I say showcase because it's like
they do that thing where they'll have lines and then it cuts into, but within the movie itself, they're actually cutting into the cutscenes of the game that Neo creates.
Yeah.
Like, yes, this movie's complicated. It's complicated on purpose.
I think it's that it wasn't complicated.
It's hard to explain to people.
It's hard to explain, yes.
Because, like, Morpheus is dead, but this Morpheus is the Morpheus from the game, and then he likes the original one, so he cosplays him.
Okay, that's not a confusing.
Yeah.
At first I thought I was like, oh, I get it. But now, like, the moment you explained it, I was like, what?
That's why, like, this is funny that canonically there's an MMO that is, like, that kills Morpheus in-game, and I guess they kept it canon. So it's weird that you'd have to, it's like the Kingdom Hearts thing where you have to go and play 10 different things to figure out the whole story or whatever.
Dang.
It's funny, I think this movie can get away with it, but whenever they did that with like Rise of Skywalker and you have to figure out why Palpatine's back by playing Fortnite, I'm like, fuck no. I'm not doing that.
Wait, what?
You didn't know about that?
No, wait, explain that. I'm
okay,
confused.
well, so before the Rise of Skywalker came out, you know how there's one line in Rise of Skywalker, and it's Oscar Isaac looking bored out of his mind where he's like, somehow Palpatine has returned.
Yes.
That's like that's the only way they explain it within the movie.
Yes.
I have not actually seen the cutscene because I didn't care enough to.
Yeah.
There's whenever they were doing a big promotional event for Fortnite for Rise of Skywalker, and it was like this whole thing where Palpatine is like, haha, I'm back. And
in Fortnite?
Yeah, and you have to watch
The way I said, I'm sorry. In Fortnite?
You have to watch the thing within the game to understand it.
Oh man.
I love Boba Fett, by the way. I'm really liking it.
I still need to see it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it whenever we can.
I'm sorry. I Fortnite.
Yeah, you know.
No, I don't.
I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not defending it at all because I don't get it either.
I'm confused. I don't care.
With this though, speaking of Star Wars, this is the most recent movie that has reminded me of The Last Jedi. In that while watching it, I was like, "This is gonna piss people off," and I was like, "I'm not pissed off, but I'm really liking this." I was like, but I was sitting next to Dakota the whole time, and I was like, I wonder if he hates this. I was like, I feel like this might be something that he's hating.
Yeah.
But he really liked it too.
Okay.
And it's just, it seems so determined to not give you what you want at all.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Like, what did you?
I mean, I liked certain parts of it, yes, but overall, I thought it was fine. Like, it was okay. I say that because it's like what you said though, right? It tries to like give you everything you didn't really ask for, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it paid off well. You know? Like, okay, for example, like, let's just talk about the very end, right?
Oh, where they're both the
ones,
the two,
right?
I guess.
And I'm just like, how that doesn't make sense. I guess because the fact I'm lacking some some attention from the other three.
Yeah.
And just remembering a lot of it had to do with just Neo alone, and that's it. Of course, like, his bond with Trinity, like, helped him as well. But, like, it never became something where it's like that bond was a necessity for Neo to do those powers, correct?
Yeah. Well, so I'm really curious. Sounds like I might have liked it more than you did, but I'm really curious how the first four play back to back with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't prepare for that. Like, I was like, I'm going off of the one time I marathoned all of them. The last time I did that, whenever that was, years ago. And I was randomly thinking about this. I loved Neil Patrick Harris in this, though.
Oh, yes, I love him. I miss him.
Yeah, I do, too. Because we were both huge fans of How I Met Your Mother growing up. That's weird to say.
Wow. That is weird. I never... Dude, I just don't remember going to your house to watch How I Met Your Mother.
Like in the morning before school, like you show up at like 6:30 or 7 a.m. because we'd have to be at the bus at like 8 or something like that.
God.
And we'd watch it beforehand. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That show ended in like 2014.
What?
Yeah.
So what year is it now?
Yeah, and season 8's not very good, but whatever.
Yeah.
Season 9's also not that good.
It's I don't even know which one's better. Because season 9 was more like...
I just don't understand why they did it like the whole thing took place in a day.
Oh, yeah.
That bothered me. Or a few days.
I know. I remember going like, as it was, it's like, 5 minutes before the wedding, 30-minute episode.
No, that always bothers me. Like, anime does it all the time, where it's like 4 minutes have passed. I'm like, I have watched 30 episodes. As much as I love One Piece, I'm looking at you and Hunter x Hunter.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah. But it was weird because I don't know, I guess I've never seen an anti-fan service movie because, like, I mean, the first 3 Matrix movies, from what I remember, were also very on the nose about what they were saying.
Yeah.
And this one is too. Like, they straight up, they bring people in and they say sequels are useless or...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, that is said out loud in this movie multiple times.
Yeah, and how he says, like, we're going to make you with or without you kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, crap.
Like,
but...
Is it Lana Wachowski that wrote this? And, like, that was very clearly... It's so weird. Warner Brothers did 2 movies this year where they criticized themselves, or last year. Space Jam and New Legacy.
I haven't seen that, but now I know. Dang it, you ruined the best
joke.
joke.
Oh my god, no, the best joke I did not ruin. The best joke is actually amazing. It's just weird that it's in a Space Jam movie, but I guess it makes sense. Can I say what it is? I want to say it.
No. Alright, fine, go ahead. I want to see it soon. I feel like the moment I watch it, they'll still make me laugh.
So basically, it's this huge build-up. They're like, we got Michael Jordan. And it does the whole, like, pan-up setup thing. Sounds cool. Then he walks in.
Okay.
And then they're like, you got the wrong Michael Jordan. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that's actually pretty funny.
It's really funny. And I was like, for that joke alone, the fact that Don Cheadle's name is Algorithm.
Wait,
it's
what?
like, yeah, like algorithm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's because the whole joke that they make is that like, oh, Warner Brothers doesn't want to put effort into making movies anymore, so they're gonna get an algorithm that'll just make the movies for them. And I
Huh.
was like, and then they make like the same statement in this.
What the heck?
And I was like, it's so weird that WB says it's like the Jonathan Groff, Mr. Anderson character.
Yeah.
Is he's like, oh, our parent company, Warner Brothers, wants us to do a sequel, or else they'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I was talking about how actors used to be punchlines. What I was getting at is that Keanu Reeves used to be as well. I think he's grown so much as an actor.
Oh yes.
I was like, but I also just love him, like even in his '90s movies. Point Break is awesome. Some of the other stuff he's in, like of course the like '90s is The Matrix. It is so weird though because those movies are so influential that now that we're watching another one, it's weird to think that like so for example, you know how slow-mo was big for a long time. This one is one of the pioneers of it with bullet time, and like the moment that they did bullet time and they did the opposite of it, where it's like the weird choppy early 2000s editing thing, threw me off at first. I was like, why are they doing that? But then I bought into it. In terms of legitimate problems I have with this though, Zion, I was kind of like, I mean, I don't remember what I thought of it in the original.
They didn't really show it much, so
yeah,
they didn't show it much on this one. Wait, what's Zion?
the planet with the Jada Pinkett Smith planet.
Oh, okay. Oh, what's the planet? Okay, so is that Zion is just a planet itself, or not that area?
I thought Zion was a planet. We're not qualified enough to talk about the mechanics of the Matrix.
Sorry, guys. I guess I liked when they were talking about like the world, like they were like okay, like the reality that they're in, right?
Yeah.
When they're not in the Matrix, like they'll try. I guess I don't say tribe, but like that with Jada Pinkett Smith is.
It's kind of what they were.
Yeah, because like they were secluded from everything, like from where like the other like droids were. Droids. I don't know. I don't know what they are.
No, you know the android thing, the droid.
Oh, droid.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that aspect though, how they were trying to like rebuild and all that. That was pretty cool to see because that's what they were trying to do in the last two, I think, from what I remember. Like they were trying to just build from that and all, and they're still doing it.
Honestly, I'll say this: I loved the first third and the last third, and I was kind of whatever in the middle because that's whenever they go to Zion, it's all that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like my least favorite part.
Yeah.
When they're not in the Matrix.
Yeah, and they're like, we're growing, I don't know, strawberries or whatever they're doing.
When her calories bit into it, it's like, this is a strawberry?
Yeah, and I was thinking about it, I was like, does that taste like fruit? It's like, what are they saying? But I liked the stuff with Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves a lot because they still have great chemistry together. I don't know, it's weird. Like we're talking about. The Matrix was also very well known for its incredible action sequences. This movie's action scenes are fine.
Yeah, they're. I mean, okay, if it's a movie, if it's a franchise that had like amazing action scenes, like Mad Max Fury Road, right? I feel like if they made another one, when probably never.
Oh, the one with Anya Taylor-Joy that they're doing.
They are.
Furiosa.
Oh, they are making one. But I feel like but when that comes out, I'm not gonna go in there expecting the next big action scene, kind of thing. Like, if it happens, like great. But it's just the action scenes seem so bland. But I think it's also because how the first movie became so impactful that it was in so many things. It's kind of hard to either replicate that or like go above that.
We are so beyond 90s blockbusters now that it's whenever something new comes out that we've never seen, it'll blow our minds. But for now, that has not happened. They're like, but there's only so much you can do now. Like I was watching a video and I agreed with it. They're like, you know how insane it is to think about how in Spider-Man No Way Home, there's that whole scene in the mirror dimension that would have blown your mind in like the 90s. But now you're like, that was cool. And it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But like it's just weird how much technology has progressed and scenes
Yeah.
have progressed and action has. That I don't know. It'll take some time for them to figure out something new.
No,
And
yeah.
totally Neo, something new.
Oh, never mind then.
I was like, yeah, I think this works.
Okay, fine.
Um,
I like that one image that they also showed in the trailer, where it was I guess like when they were trying to like put two minds together at the same time at the very
Oh.
end with Carrie, Trinity, and like what's her name?
uh,
I don't remember her name.
the girl from Iron Fist.
Yeah, her.
Jessica Henwick.
Yeah, Jessica Henwick.
Bugs.
Bugs, yes. Bugs and Trinity, like they were trying to like mash minds, I guess in a sense.
Yeah.
And like that part whenever she starts screaming, I don't know why I really like that part.
Oh, like where it's different women coming out.
Yeah.
Speaking of, first, I don't know if it's throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
but the first third where they like have in the reflections of mirrors and stuff.
Yeah.
Different people.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, this movie's beautifully shot.
Yes.
They're like, it's like, oh, you're going on one perfect shot, and then the comments will be like, "Boo, shit movie."
It's like, but we're talking about the shot.
Yeah. Or I think it's funny whenever you go in the
Wow,
comments of that.
this scene had so much CGI. Wow, colors.
Whatever. Be like, that meme where it's like, oh, for Marvel fans be like, look at this perfect shot. It's a picture of a green screen.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a good shot.
I mean, yeah.
Like the one, I'm pretty sure it's like that green screen of like Thor Ragnarok where like that dragon's chasing Thor.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's like still a great shot.
That joke extends into the whole. Sometimes the best CGI is when you can't tell it is.
I mean, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But like, I guess
Which obviously because you don't know.
I know I was there.
It's like you know how like sometimes there are movie facts that are so popular and people have to say them whenever you're like, yes, I fucking know Ryan Gosling played the piano in La La Land.
Did you know Jared Leto as Joker sent gifts? All of his co-stars.
Jared Leto sent people meatballs when he was in the House of Gucci.
Jared Leto. Jared Leto's this. Jared Leto's that. I just don't know.
The other one is like,
did you know Jared Leto actually had herpes in Dallas Buyers Club? he got himself herpes, so in order he could play that role very well.
It's like the other thing where the one I hear all the time, people have to say it, is in Lord of the Rings where Aragorn kicks the
my
helmet.
gosh. I just saw a TikTok video someone
and you saw somebody say that, yeah.
I was like, oh, I know.
It's just those like that's another thing like with TikTok where they're like popular movie facts. It's like you already know this.
Oh yeah.
And
but I feel like, I mean, of course, like they make those videos for people who don't know.
Yeah, but then
they made that video specifically for us, Daniel.
And they're like, "Wow, blew my mind." I'm like, "Dude, go on the internet."
Dude, why have you not seen behind the scenes? You don't go to the special features?
Yeah, that's why I was telling you, like, I was really excited for the Harry Potter thing that they did.
Uh-huh.
But then I found out all the stories were just, like, basically repeated the stories that they told in the special features.
And I'm just like, dang, I remember, like, watching all the special features and, like, all that.
Like, I want to watch them because it'd be cool to see them at their age now back together. But the thing is, they're like, I have seen the stories that they're going to tell because they've, like, told them or did them and they showed them. Like, I'm assuming, I don't know how much of the cutaways that they do are already in the special features, which is another thing that bothers me about physical media. Whatever.
Guys, we're not going to talk about The Matrix.
Is that like they completely omitted special features now and it bothers me.
I didn't even realize that until you said that. I was like, what? Because I'd love going to special features. Oh, what was that one thing? Oh, it was a Lion King I was telling you about.
Oh yeah, they had the games.
They had the games and the special features. I would play that all the time.
Like there was another TikTok because like I was on the app again recently and I wanted to delete it again. I got burned out on it instantly. When they were like, did you know that there's if you go into the Shrek 2 or no, it's like, have you ever seen this Shrek 2 video? And it's like the American Idol thing that they do.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, I know because I did the Shrek 2 special features.
Me too.
They also had mini games on there. Same with some of the Harry Potter ones. It was like I think it was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, Prisoner of Azkaban with I do remember
the
playing
book,
that too.
right? Or was it like so it was something related to that? That's why whenever Disney Plus they do the assembled with and it's the behind the scenes of WandaVision and I always watch them.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen the Hawkeye one. Did they do one? I hope so.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, because I know that they released one for Shang-Chi. It just sucks because then like some of the behind the scenes now will just be like a gag reel and like some bloopers and that's
that kind
it.
of sucks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, especially for No Way Home, I want to see like
Oh yeah, like everything.
everything with Andrew
Yeah,
and Toby and all, and I want to see what they said and all this and that. So
that's why I like whenever they release behind the scenes on Instagram stuff. I always watch them.
oh yeah,
It's also just really cool. I love, I don't know, the practical behind making of stuff anyway. But no, it's just weird. I'm not surprised at how, because The Matrix, this movie did bomb, which is so weird to think about. Like I was talking,
that is weird.
yeah, somebody I was telling them, I was like, I'm not mad this movie was made because I refuse to use the term cash grab ever because every movie needs to make money. Like
Yeah,
like
I mean, at the end of that's what studios do. They don't like a lot of studios. If they were gonna make movies just based off of, oh, what would be more impactful to the audience and everything, they would just make it regardless of if it makes money or not.
Yeah.
But at the end, like, it needs to make money regardless.
No, absolutely. So whenever it's like, who asked for this? I'm like, I don't like that question.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, technically, did we ask for, I don't know, what's one of my favorite movies of last year? Did I ask for, say, Malignant?
Army of the Dead.
I liked it.
I don't know. It was a movie. You asked for a movie.
Okay. So I liked Army of the Dead, right? But did I ask for it? No. Did I know it was gonna exist though? No.
The Justice League Snyder cut.
That's enough. I mean, people did ask for that.
There were death threats.
Yeah. No, there were a lot. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I just don't get that question. Like, I don't know, but
At the end though, whenever I came out of that movie, I really wouldn't care if there was another one or not.
I don't think there will be.
Yeah. Because like, what else can you show? You know, because there's not much stakes anymore. You know, because you literally brought back characters that were, you know, they were dead apparently.
Yeah.
And now they came back, so clearly they can come back regardless.
So that's part of the thing where like, I mean, I really liked Morpheus in this.
Yeah.
And honestly, Keanu just being in stuff is awesome. So
yes.
It was just weird at the end because I was like, I enjoyed watching this movie, but it's kind of, some movies don't need to, you know, make narrative sense, connect to the rest of them, but this one was also made to do that. So it's a tricky balance because I'm like, I really quite like this movie. I did. I mean, I'd watch it again, but it is 2.5 hours. But I'd watch it again.
It was 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Crap.
The only time I really kind of felt that was in the middle.
Yeah.
I was just sort of like, I was like, dude, where are they going?
Oh, yeah.
But whenever they are in the Matrix again, I love that stuff. Like, that scene was kind of weird, but I liked it, where all the bodies are committing suicide.
That
Like
scene was more... It was funny instead of being impactful.
I don't know what it was supposed to be because this movie had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, how...
I felt like it could have been like an Adam McKay movie then. Like satire.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been made making fun of itself.
Well, the movie is very clearly making a commentary on sequels and reboots and all of that. I'm just curious how much of it is like intended to be the way it comes across.
Yeah.
Because I told you, I was like, I've given some of the Wachowskis' work before 5 stars, even if I found it a little flawed, because I appreciated...
You've seen Cloud Atlas, right?
I was about to bring up Cloud Atlas. I appreciated Cloud Atlas so much. I love that movie.
I still need to see it.
It does so much stuff. And I briefly mentioned that like I liked Jupiter Ascending. That movie's actually not good, but I do like it. Speed Racer rocks. Awesome movie.
I haven't seen Speed Racer in forever.
I know that like that's another one where people are like, oh, got this movie wrong. But
did we get this movie wrong? I love that.
That movie has a monkey.
He does, yes, I do remember that.
I think it's like John Goodman's best friend.
John Goodman's in that?
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess. I mean, I guess we'll go into our rating. I'll give it. I mean, I gave it like 4 out of 5. I don't regret that. I don't. I really quite liked it.
I give it a 3.
Oh, really? Just 3 flat?
Like just flat. I don't know. I wouldn't really care to see it again, but I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know, and if I probably don't think they'll make a sequel.
No way.
But if they did, then I would watch it again though, just for it. But
Yeah.
I just don't see how. But I did like Smith though.
Yeah.
I did like how they
did
handle
too.
Agent Smith.
I really like Jonathan Groff in this. I guess I'll briefly talk about. I saw The King's Men, The King's Man, whatever. This will be weird because everyone hasn't seen this.
Yeah, I haven't seen
So I guess.
Here, I'll form my opinion.
No, I was
without
like,
watching
you can
it.
ask me anything you want to know though.
Okay.
Like,
Can you just tell me the entire movie real quick?
no. I love the first one. I like the second one, and this one was fine.
I love the first one. I still love the second one. I do. Even though I love the first one more than the second one, I still love the second one.
It occurred to me though in this that the Kingsmen they have those movies have a tone, and like you're watching one of them. This one was weird because it felt like it really wanted to be something else, but then it would go into its action scenes and the villains, and it would turn into a Kingsman movie again. Like it felt like Matthew Vaughn wanted to make a war movie, and just had to, I don't know, get the money for it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he made it a Kingsman movie too. But I love Ray Fine. I think that's how you say it. He's one of my favorite actors. It was this, like, we talk about or tend to bring up the action scenes and things a lot, but they are known for that. They have a very specific look and style, and this movie still has that. But there are only like 3, and this movie's fucking long. I was like, I thought it got better as it went on, but the first half I was like, what is this movie doing? I was like, where is it going?
What's that one actress's name in that movie that's also in what's the movie called? Not John Carter. The one with Jake Gyllenhaal and it's with sand.
Oh, Prince of Persia?
Yeah, that's that chick.
Sands of Time.
Sands of Time.
How do you say her name? Gemma Arterton.
Okay, her.
Yeah.
How was she in that movie? I
liked
remember seeing her in the trailer.
I liked her. I mean,
Okay.
It was very much they still do the thing where like the Kingsmen, where they have a set of characters and that's who you're with the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Like I also don't know how to say his name either. Jimin or Jimon Hunsao, who he's like in everything. He's in Shazam. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, him. Yeah,
he's awesome.
I always feel like he should be in a major role, but like he's always getting like supported.
Legitimately, I don't know why he does that. He looks like the type of person that would be the main character of something.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the guy from this, I thought it was funny because it visually looks like 1917, and then it's the guy from 1917. But no, it has the thing is it sucks because the movie is passable, but then there are sequences that are so inspired and so cool that you're like, why isn't this in something better? Because there's one scene that's incredibly creative where they have to be silent and use just knives, and it's dark, and the choreography is set, and like I was like, that is such a neat idea that you have to use like hand-to-hand combat in order to stay silent, and like the way the camera moves in the Kingsman movies, like it feels very fluid and it feels like it moves along with the movement. And then another thing that happens like is another great sequence with Rasputin played by the Lizard, Rhys Ifan.
Played by the Lizard.
Played by the Lizard.
Hey, so what if you were a lizard, right? So what if the lizard came to your door, Daniel, right now?
I saw what?
I don't want to be a lizard, man.
Man, I just want to go home. It was great, like, because it has to do this thing where his fighting style is like a ballerina. It's awesome. It's super cool. And there's one specific visual trick that I was like, man, if this were in the first two, they would have fully committed to this. There's like a whole sequence or shots of it, like it happens for like 10 seconds, where you see the perspective of the sword fight through the sword. Like it's first person and it's the sword. Yeah. And I was like, that's awesome. And then they never show it that way again. And I was like, if this were in the first two, it would have fully committed to that.
Yeah.
Because like those movies know they're goofy and they're trying to be. This one felt like it was trying to be serious until it turned into Kingsman again. And I was like, why don't you just be that? I was like, it felt like it was kind of having a weird personality crisis for me personally.
Didn't Matthew
But,
Vaughn say like these like the Kingsman like trilogy mean a lot to him or like to his mom?
maybe.
I think it was. I think I read somewhere or it was like on IMDb where like these movies meant like so much to him. That's why he made sequels to these movies specifically.
Oh. I mean,
and like stuck to it.
So here's the thing about them is they're not lacking passion, which kind of sucks because whenever one of them is like, because I like I said I love the first one, like the second one. I was like, maybe this franchise.
I'm just glad they released this movie.
Yeah, it's been that this movie actually got a trailer like 2 years ago.
That's insane.
And then it was released a few days after Spider-Man, and then the same day as The Matrix. So not surprising that it didn't do well either.
Dude, but neither of those movies did well.
But also, I was like, why did you do that? Why did you release like a week after Spider-Man?
Yeah.
What was the idea there? It was fine. It sucks to say because like I didn't feel like there was any reason. That's the worst thing is whenever a movie is fine, and like we always talk about that. Like I wish a movie were either horrible or great because then it's memorable. Like I didn't mind watching this. I enjoyed my time with it. Although the first half I was like, I am gonna hate this movie if it continues to be this way. But once they actually like go somewhere, like they introduce Rasputin and everything, I think the movie picks up a lot. But what does suck is when you can tell that a movie does have a passion behind it, but you just can't get there with it, or it can't get there itself.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of. I didn't see it, but I heard that about. This is just off the top of my head, like Beautiful Boy, with Steve Carell.
I really like Beautiful Boy a lot.
Really?
Right?
Right? You saw it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. The performance is great and all.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember what it was. I think what like made that movie for me was just like the relationship between the father and the son, more than just like it's what it was trying to like say and all.
Yeah.
When it came to like
drug addiction.
Yeah,
right?
about drug addiction.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't its strong point at all, and it kept going back and forth, like the movie itself when it was, going back and forth with how Timothy Chalamet's character was handling all his issues and all. Same thing with Steve Carell, how he was handling all of his issues, and it just kind of went like there's like time jumps in it as well, and so it wasn't very continuous. You know, because whenever it came to, like, building up that relationship, it was just, like, you had to, like, know, like, their relationship stuck together whenever they did go through those time jumps, instead of seeing the relationship grow over those time jumps.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand, like, the structure.
Yeah. It's just, like, the structure of the movie itself that I didn't really like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but it was more like a performance piece though too. So
yeah, that's hard whenever it's like supposed to be a character study instead of like anything else.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps it up for this. It's good to be back. We're trying to continue this weekly now.
Yes.
So we'll try and be more consistent about that, and it'll be awesome to be doing this again. It's been a little while. What's next? Boba Fett.
Dang, I didn't watch Boba Fett.
Yeah. And Scream, I am
Don't scream.
so excited for. I love that franchise.
I'm okay with horror movies. I don't know. They're fine. I don't even know what's my favorite horror franchise now.
Franchise?
Yeah.
Well, you said you only watched the first Scream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch 2 Scream movies.
2? Then you'd be seeing 2 and 3 and not 4.
Wait, okay. I'll just watch Scream 1 and 2, and then I'll watch the new one, and then eventually I'll watch 3 and 4.
Okay.
Look at that. I've seen all Jason and Freddy movies.
I've seen over half of the Freddy movies. Jason is like the worst fucking slasher. He has the worst movies.
It's just so basic. You can't really do much with slasher movies, though. You really can't.
I disagree with that.
You really can't.
Yes, you can.
Like, well, okay, that's fine. We'll talk about that whenever we...
Yeah, we'll probably get into an argument, I think.
It sounds like it.
Watch Malignant.
Okay, I'll watch that.
I'm telling everybody, not just you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time.